me to speak in English. Boleh? Because I'm a very senior person. I'm 74 years old. And it is a privilege to be able to address this very auspicious crowd, the people from Sabah, Indonesia, and of course my home place, Sarawak. I'm very honored to represent Michael Job, my script president. Before I say from my heart, I want to say what he is talking about in Sekolah Adat. We found that the knowledge of Adat is disappearing in Sarawak. We have to admit to it, because if we do not admit to it, we will lose it. Betul tidak? Therefore, script found this is one of the objectives of us to make the awareness of Adat is very, very important in our survival. But what is Adat? Adat is part of community living. I grew up in a community and I will die in a community. But it is part of my life, and that's why I got terlibat in this. Because of the situation we have in Sarawak, we are losing it. It's not being taken care of. Our community needs Adat, and one other thing that hits me, and that's how I got involved, and that is our Tanah Adat. Ladies and gentlemen, and honored people in this room, all with a lot of experience, I confronted this in my life. A community right in the jungles of Borneo. There is no respect for our Adat. Why? Because even law has been made in the Dewan Undangan Negeri to put my cousin into jail, and he has to leave the country to survive. We cannot have this type of thing. Let's talk about it openly now. We cannot continue to be like this. And I think some of you know him, Mutang. He is still in touch with us, and a very good close friend of me and Paul. So finally he is able to come back, to come and share the burden that we have. And because of the lack of knowledge of Adat, we are finding that the best weapon for us to stem or put our insist that we are the Asal people of Sarawak, be Sarawak, which is part of Borneo, so I will speak in that sense. I feel that I joined this society because we need to do something practical to be able to help us. Adat is so important as far as I'm concerned. And we went into a court case, which I think Paul is very familiar with. And the Adat was respected in equal status as the law of the land and the federal law. So, teaching our young people the relationship between Adat, state law, and federal law, and international law is so important. I understand it, but many of our young people do not understand it. The previous speaker has already said that they are doing some early work in Sabah. We really need a lot of help in Sarawak to help this going. We need to insist that it is part of the curriculum of every primary school. I understand, of course, it's already happening in Kalimantan. We must follow the footsteps of others. We need a lot of help. Pressure from you people in Sabah and Indonesia will wake up the Sarawakian. I think it is a good time now for us to be able to raise it openly in Sarawak. And I believe that script is doing this. We have another important thing that we are putting on work now. I better remember my timing. And that is to help map out the Tanah Adat of every tribe that is in Baram and in Belaga and whoever wants us to go there. And we have done some initial work already. As long as the people call us, we will go and help them with whatever we can to come with the map. And this map of our Tanah Adat are used in court cases, and I think Paul is very experienced in this because that's what part of his work in his life as a lawyer. And I thank them all because they were so kind to me, and we won our case. And the other was equal status to High Court, which I'm not familiar with. I had to go in there to learn about High Court. I went into the Court of Appeal to learn about Court of Appeal. It stopped there because the judgment was to help us to understand that Adat is the only tool that we have to protect our community, to protect our land, and to protect the Dayak of Borneo. We are not insisting that we take care. We just want to be part and parcel of this island where our ancestors started. I cannot help being born a Dayak, which my interpretation is that I'm an indigenous person of this island, be it Sarawak or be it. I identify with the Dusun, the Kedajan. We are all Dayak of this place. Why? Because as far as I can remember in the history, my ancestors were Sarawakian. But actually there was no Sarawakian before. I should correct that. They were orang asal of Borneo. And you and me understand. Why should it be so difficult for us to understand that? And that is how we should be addressing our people. I tell you, I'm not a very popular person in my own tribe. Right? All my friends have become Dato. I'm still a doctor, but I thank God I am not. Because I could be one of those people who had to do what I didn't want to do. And I'm free to speak freely in front of you today. And I want to say, I don't care, because I now am a grandfather and I want to teach my children, even though their grandma is an Australian, they are still Asal people of Borneo because they have got my genes with them also. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that I came from the ground level where we had problem. I do not want a situation that we are so desperate that we have to revert back to our old ways. No way. That is not the way. We use our education and skill, and I so-called all the international connection that we have. I believe I just met someone for 1 minute, and his name is Mike, and I want to be in touch with him because I believe that pressure from other indigenous in the rest of the world, what they face is coming on us already. You have been affected in Kalimantan already. And okay, one more thing that I did as a person of the Highland, Kelabit Highland, there was no road in Baram, not a single kilometer of road. And I challenged somebody that in 2016, I still got some time, huh? I will tell a story. And I could not understand why we had to accept logging road to every corner of Baram. Tumabang Bahang, you understand that we are driving in the worst possible roads in Malaysia. If anybody want to say otherwise, come, I'll show you the road. To Paul's Place is the same thing. This is what we insist on. Why after 60 years in Malaysia, why should we have roads that is safe for our people? Are we less valuable than other people? No, we are not. Without us, there may not be any Sabah. There will not be Sarawak as it is today. We are the last group that will save our country. Let us work together as Dayak and Borneo to deliver it to our future generation. And sometimes it's very difficult because when you start doing things like this, there is no help from anyone except ourselves. That is the problem. However, I believe we have sympathizers from overseas where we can work together to be able to bring out the problem so that all can see. And maybe we will be able to overcome some of our problems. We cannot say we are proud to be Dayak. No, I am a Dayak. I'm a Daya.